to discuss the ongoing issues with water quality in Dublin Bay. Deputy, 4 minutes.
Thank you, Las Ciancorla, and thank you, Minister, for taking this morning. According to Irish Water, in the 4-year period from 2017 to 2020, a total of 8.875 million cubic metres of untreated sewage and stormwaters had been discharged into Dublin Bay from overflow tanks located at the Ringsend wastewater treatment plant. That figure does not include other significant discharges from the 410 stormwater overflows in the Dublin region, which are not measured but are thought to exceed the discharges in the Ringsend plant. This equates to 3,550 full-size Olympic 50-metre pools over the 4-year period and averages out at 74 Olympic pools full of untreated wastewater each month. These discharges of untreated sewer wastewater usually occur during storm periods when the current Dublin wastewater treatment facility reaches maximum capacity and cannot cope with loads being received. I'm very aware as the TD for Dún Laoghaire and indeed all of the TDs along the Dublin Bay coast will be aware of the beauty of Dublin Bay and how we want to protect it. Every time it rains, there's a water issue, a sea quality water issue. Since people have been swimming in the sea all year round, but in particular since COVID, they've adapted it much more as part of their lifestyle. And it's a serious health issue that they don't know whether or not the water they're going into is clean or not. They have an indication that if it's been raining, they really probably shouldn't go in for a couple of days. But the lack of transparency is a huge problem. My constituents want to be able to pick up their phone and check an app and see, is the water good right now? Not is the water good 2 days ago, not will the water be good 2 days from now, but ongoing testing and live updates. Now, the councils have made some improvements. You can see what the water quality is down in Killiney Beach and so on, but people want to be able to check so that they don't pick up serious illnesses, as we know has been the case. We know that people are interested in this. Over 21,500 people have signed a Dublin Bay petition run by a really excellent expert and advocacy group, SOS Dublin Bay. It's a live issue and it features all of the constituencies along Dublin Bay. There's also a serious concern that Ireland, by failing to deal with this in the appropriate way, is in breach of the 2006 Bathing Water Directive. Be interested in your points on that, Minister. We've raised this consistently, I and other TDs. There's been 35 TDs from the Dublin Bay area who have signed up to a letter to try to call for two things: all year round wastewater testing, all year round sea testing, so that our constituents have knowledge about whether or not the water is clean, so that it provides additional data as to where the difficulties are. That can be quite nuanced. We saw recently there was two beaches beside each other, one of where the water was fine, the other where it was seriously bad. Actually, they found out that that was to do with migratory birds or something random like that. It wasn't to do with the water system. But it's about having data for people about whether or not they get into the sea in the first instance. So we need all year round water testing, and we need the ultraviolet technology in Ringsend to be used on an all year round basis so that bathers can be protected. I know they've extended it somewhat, but I don't know to what extent, and perhaps the Minister will have provided clarity for you in your answer to me today. Thank you.
Mahagut Deputy, yes, and you're quite right. I am taking this question today from Minister Darragh O'Brien, and I want to thank you for raising this issue in relation to the ongoing issues with the water quality in Dublin Bay. I would like to point out that primary responsibility for the monitoring, management, protection and improvement of water quality is assigned to local authorities under the Local Government Acts and related legislation. Since the 1st of January 2014, as you'll be aware, Deputy, Irish Water have statutory responsibility for all aspects of water services planning, delivery and operation at national, regional and local level, including investment in wastewater treatment plants and returning wastewater safely to the environment in an efficient and sustainable manner. The Environmental Protection Agency is the key statutory body for investigating complaints of pollution and for the enforcement, both directly and through oversight of Irish Water and local authorities, of environmental legislation in Ireland, including compliance in relation to licensed urban wastewater discharges. As part of Budget 22, the Minister for Housing, Local Government and Heritage secured funding of over €1.57 billion to support water services. This includes €1.459 billion, so current expenditure of €629 million and capital expenditure of €830 million in respect of domestic water services provided by Irish Water. The overall investment will deliver significant improvements in our public water and wastewater services, support improved water supplies right across Ireland, including rural Ireland, and support a range of programmes delivering improved water quality in our rivers, lakes and marine areas. It is key to addressing Ireland's shortcomings in water and wastewater infrastructure, including compliance with the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive. In respect of Dublin Bay, Deputy, the Ringsend wastewater treatment plant was originally designed and built to treat wastewater for a population equivalent of 1.64 million people and is now overloaded. In response, Irish Water is currently undertaking a major upgrade of the plant. This upgrade will increase the capacity of the plant to cater for the growing population of the Greater Dublin area and will address compliance with EU law. Planning permission was granted for the project in April 2019 and the project is currently underway. In addition, officials are currently examining the most suitable options to provide for safe bathing water during the winter months and improve the dissemination of information around bathing water quality, particularly in the Dublin Bay area. Both Minister O'Brien and Minister Noonan have met with a number of local interest groups for the Dublin Bay area, including the Dublin Bay SOS Group, and are committed to developing a solution that will allow flexibility around the bathing season and the protection of those people who swim throughout the year. Ongoing work by the Dublin Bay Task Group, chaired by Dublin City Council, is aimed at improving bathing water quality all year round. The work of this group and the welcome commitment from Irish Water to operate its ultraviolet filter at Ringsend for a period outside of the bathing season are already providing improved protections for bathers, while also improving our knowledge of the quality of our bathing waters outside of the defined season.
Minister, obviously my question relates exactly to that. Irish Water is going to operate the ultraviolet filter at Ringsend for a period outside the bathing season. The bathing season, as you know, is 3 months during the summer. So my question obviously to the department would be, for how long? And could they tell us that? And could they publicise that? And could constituents know that? In relation to the Irish Water upgrade, you're absolutely right. And indeed, I met them a very long time ago about this problem. And they told me that the ongoing works in the Shangana Catchment Drainage Area Plan Programme and the West Pier Ringsend Catchment DAP will not be completed until 2023 and 2024 respectively. And I believe that's just from an analysis perspective and a planning perspective, never mind actually getting down and doing the work. The EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, and Dr. Emer Cotter, Director of the EPA, has stated that the EPA is calling for additional water quality monitoring at beaches where there are a large number of year-round swimmers, and that information is made to the public. That statement by Dr. Cotter validates and endorses the position that I'm taking here, that the other 35 TDs who have signed up to this body of work have taken. And you know, I have a PQ response. Obviously, the response that you've given me, Minister, mirrors very closely the PQ response that I would have gotten from the department on the 2nd of November. But there's a piece that they left out for your speech, and I'd query this. My officials will examine options with the Bathing Water Expert Group at the next meeting of the group, which is in December. Here's the bit I don't understand, Minister. The group will undertake a robust analysis of the positive and negative consequences of each of the options. In particular, I know the group will want to ensure existing summertime bathing water designations are not jeopardised in the short term as a consequence of weather-affected winter sampling results, while also providing protection to those bathing in Dublin Bay all the way through the year. I don't even understand that in English, never mind in policy terms or political terms. Or I assume it's not some class of threat, or that it's some class of one or the other, because I'd encourage the department officials, who I hope are watching, to embrace a philosophy of we can do both.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your ongoing comments and interest in Dublin Bay. And it is interesting to hear that all 35 TDs across the Dublin area have signed this letter and are very concerned. And you know, you are quite right in what you said. People now are swimming all year round. They don't only swim during the summer season, as we call it. And like today is a very mild day. I'm sure there's plenty of people donning their bathing suits and swimming today. In relation to what you've just said there, officials are currently examining the most suitable options to provide for safe bathing water during the winter months and improve the dissemination of information around bathing water quality, particularly in the Dublin Bay area. Officials will examine options with the Bathing Water Expert Group at the next meeting. The group will undertake a robust analysis of the positive and negative consequences of each of the options. So I'm not particularly sure what that means myself. The next meeting of the Bathing Water Expert Group is expected to take place in early December, after which the Department of Housing, Local Government and Heritage will give consideration to the most appropriate option for amending the regulations. So I've no doubt this particular issue will come to the floor of the Dáil again. Gorf Maithagad.